Extracurricular activities are an important part of a student's high school experience. In Des Moines, there are over 5,000 participants in high school activities. Today, we welcome District Activities Director Mike Zelenovich and East High School Activities Director Ric Powell to talk about the district's high school sports and activities and tell us about a new district-wide Senior Awards Banquet planned for June, next on Classroom Connections. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Connections, a public affairs discussion on issues important to students, teachers, and parents in the Des Moines Public Schools. I'm your host, Sarah Taylor. Students who take advantage of extracurricular activities offered by their schools reap many benefits, and some are even able to use their talents to further their education after high school. Joining me today to talk about the district's extracurricular activities and a new district-wide awards banquet are Mike Zelenovich, District Activities Director, and Ric Powell, East High School Activities Director. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
So, Ric, students that participate in extracurriculars often reap many benefits, and certainly East High School has been a great example of that. Can you tell me more about what benefits activities can play for?
I think activities have a lot of benefits. I think education does not stop at 3 o'clock. I think the kids learn quite a bit in the real world, and I think they learn a lot through their performing arts participation and definitely athletics. I'm very fortunate to work at one of the larger high schools in the state, and I'm very fortunate to work for Des Moines Public Schools because we have a lot of quality students. And we have so many kids in activities that in performing arts that are just a showcase. They go on to do many things in the community. In athletics, just last year, we had 4 Division I girls basketball players play for our state championship team, and we have just as many state volleyball Division I girls as well that won the state title last year. And I think Des Moines Schools has so much to offer, from whether it be in wrestling with the state championship from Roosevelt, the Minx kid that won 4 straight, to Jeremy Hellickson, who's the 2011 American League Rookie of the Year, to all kinds of things like that. That, again, I think it's just we have a lot to be proud of, and this year we're going to celebrate it.
Great. So this year we're holding the first ever Senior Awards Banquet for all 5 high schools. What is it, and when will it be held?
The first ever Des Moines Senior Awards Banquet will be held on Sunday, June 10th at 4 p.m. and it will be held at the East High School Cafeteria. And Sarah, at that banquet we're going to honor 50 students from the 5 Des Moines schools, 10 from each high school, in 5 different categories. And each category will have a male and a female winner.
And this includes athletics and performing arts?
Athletics and fine arts and performing arts.
Okay, wonderful. So Ric, how have the booster clubs from all 5 high schools been collaborating on this, and are there business partners involved?
Yes, there's many, and I think we started with the booster clubs to make sure we had their support, because we asked the 5 booster clubs to buy the actual awards that will be given at the banquet, and they were quick to say yes and quick to be thankful they're part of the process and part of the big event on June 10th. And in my 32 years in education, I've never had an experience where 5 different high schools came together for one special event. And it's been nice to see the friendships that have built amongst boosters of the 5 high schools. It's nice to see the athletic coaches that have been competing against each other for years and years and years to actually come together to honor students. It's actually kind of neat to see the athletic coaches talk highly about the performing arts kids, and it's nice to see the performing arts staff to look highly towards the athletics. So I'm really excited, and I think it's a first of its kind event, and it's something Des Moines Public Schools can really showcase.
Okay, great. Do you have anything else to add, Mike, about the collaboration between the performing arts and athletics?
I echo what Ric said. I think all too often kids that are in fine arts and performing arts might get lost in the shuffle. I think as a society we're really tuned into athletics more than anything else, and we've got some outstanding kids throughout this district that excel in the fine and performing arts, and I think the athletic directors of the 5 high schools should be complimented to try and bring them together and be recognized with athletes at this end of the year banquet.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So Ric, this year you will be hosting this event at East High School. Next year, will the event be held somewhere else?
I think, Sarah, we're going to evaluate how this one goes. I think we're going to meet as a group of booster clubs and activities directors about a week to 10 days after the event and evaluate, you know, did things work well? Were we cramped? Do we need to move someplace bigger? And one of our big challenges is that we realize we have to limit it to around 300 people. And when you think of, you know, every student, all 50 students will probably want to invite their parents and other family members. Then we have, you know, all the Des Moines Public Schools principals and ADs and boosters, and by the time you get all the people around, that number to 300 grows pretty quick. And a lot of the Des Moines businesses are also trying to get on board with helping provide the meal for the day, so it'll be a no-cost situation for our students. And so there's just a lot of people that want to come. That's a nice problem to have. But yeah, I think, you know, East High is willing to do it the first time, and we're willing to rotate amongst the other 4 schools as well if they would like the opportunity. Or we may have a good problem of trying to find a bigger place.
Okay, wonderful. So are invitations being sent out to community members as well as students?
Well, schools, the activities director at each of the high schools are finalizing their selections this week. And they will notify, you know, parents and students individually, so they can be sure to get that date on their calendar. You know, late start that we got, it's really hard this time of the year to try and find an open date, and that's why we shot for June 10th. It was a little bit maybe after you know, after graduations and things like that, and some other activities. So it's important that that those kids and their parents get that on their calendar. Formal invitations are going to go out the 1st of May. And like Rick said, we need to be real cognizant of the fact how many people we can have in there. But it's about the kids. It's about recognizing achievement in a lot of different categories. And the collaboration, I think, between the 5 high schools is a pretty neat deal.
Wonderful. And this is, as far as you know, the first ever event of this kind in an urban district in the state?
I'm pretty sure, sir. I've talked to some people from the Des Moines Register that have been covering the story already in preparation for the event. And some of the sports writers actually contacted some people from, I know the Cedar Rapids schools, I think also have 5 high schools like we do. And they were very intrigued by the idea. And they admitted they've never tried anything like this. They would like to send a couple representatives to the event to kind of witness this firsthand, what it would be like. And I wouldn't be surprised if our event's successful that they would try to copy it. But I think to say that we're the first ever large district-wide event, I think would be safe to say that, yeah, we're the first.
So, Rick, have your recipients of the awards been notified?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Sarah, I personally called them into my office, all 10 of them today. At the same time, I thought it was important that they hear it not individually but as a group, because they're going to be sharing a group event. And then I was really curious to the reaction of the athletes sitting in the same room with performing arts kids and vice versa. And I was really pleased when we called our 10 top students and activities into the classroom. You know, these 10 kids joined with the other 40 from the other schools to make 50 that are being represented, that are really representing 5,000 kids throughout our district. And I talked to them about how special this event is and the selection process that we at East High School had, from the nominations from the head coaches and the performing arts directors to the selection process we had with our administrators to make sure the kids were of good character and have had good outstanding achievement in classrooms. And to call the kids in at the same time and break the news to them was one of the more special things in my career. Just the reaction of close to tears by many of them, to, you know, athletes hugging performing arts kids and vice versa. And they walked out of the room together, and they've already walked, you know, are planning events that are going to lead up to this. And just the excitement was something I'll never forget. And it's a real important thing to me that it's gone over so well.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah. And have all of the coaches and performing arts directors had about the same response at each high school?
I think when the athletic directors and activities directors got together to try to formalize this and finalize our, you know, this first ever banquet, you know, that was brought up, because I think, Sarah, you know, Des Moines schools have got a long, proud tradition, and these awards that we're going to begin to recognize on June 10th do not supplant the awards that schools have been giving for decades and decades. This is just something that the athletic directors collaboratively and collectively felt was something that we wanted to try. And like Rick said earlier, you know, this is the first of its kind for us too. So, you know, we'll evaluate it, but we hope that we can start a tradition that, in addition to the awards that they're going to give out at their individual schools, that each school will have a new tradition, which will be the district awards. So we're looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Well, best of luck on the event, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
And thank you for joining us. Don't forget, this and all other Classroom Connections episodes are available on our website. For Classroom Connections, I'm Sarah Taylor. Thanks for watching.